Now let's add a bit, because I think here we see we only use this symbol start and end, and then the parallelogram and also the rectangle, but there's a few other symbols that you do not see me use yet, such as this diamond shaped block and also this smaller block here. Now for that one, I would have to think a bit on how I can include it into this function, because this is an impromptu function, so I would need to have a bit of time to think about this. But let's say we let's see, we add an if here somewhere. Okay, I just add a random condition. For example, if x is less than 0, then the equation is y equals to x times x. This is just random. It doesn't make any logical sense. It's just I want to show what if you have an if function, if statement, and how do we put it inside the flowchart. If x is more than 0, then else if, right? Else if more than 0, it'll be like that. And else, oh, it's else if together, right? Let's see whether that works, because I would sometimes forget. Yeah, I think this is correct. But let's see later. If it's an error, then we'll just change it. Else if then y is equals to 0. Okay, so there's 3 conditions here, where the user input the x value, it goes inside, it checks if x is less than 0, then only y is equals to x times x. Else if it's more than 0, the x, then the y is equals to x times x times x. If it doesn't apply to both of this, for example, they add in, instead of a number, they add in a letter, like say B or C or Z or whatever, then it will give y equals to 0. So how do we write this here inside this flowchart? So let me let you see this again, and I think maybe I can just put it side by side so it's easier for us to draw. So just now it's just input x, and then straight away calculate the x times x times x to put inside y and display y. But right now we have, when you go in, then you need to compare. So we need to make some modification here. So I'm going to move this aside for a while. And also this one too. And add the condition. So the condition here is this symbol insert. Let's see, where is that? This one. Okay, and then adjust it. And type something inside it. Check if x is more than 0. And then there's a few other statements. There's also the x is more than 0, less than 0. This one should be less than 0 first. And then also, if not either one of that, it's just else. So I need to copy this and then paste another one. Something like that. Okay. And let's combine this too. Now it comes, let's start from the beginning, start and then input x, and it will check is x is less than 0. If yes, then okay, I'm going to copy this and then paste another one here, and have another one like that. Well, this one is this, and the other one is like that. Okay, I might need to change this, but let's just ignore this for now. And select all of this. Move it up a bit so I have enough space. Now coming back to this, if x is less than 0 and yes, then it'll go inside and calculate y. Put it like that. Add in to this one, should straight. Try to make it as straight as possible. Okay, let's. Right now I'm not gonna spend time just adjusting this to become straight, but I think you know what I mean. Just make sure that it's flat instead of a bit slanted here. But anyway, okay, so if x is less than 0, then it goes here. Then we need to add in a text box that says yes. We'll go this way. And if no, copy paste. We'll go this way. Okay. I'm still bothered by this. Let me just make it flat if possible. Oh, okay, that looks better. So then, if no, it will check here if x is more than 0. And if x is more than 0, yes, then it will go inside this box. Copy this too. Paste. Yes. Then we have another line here. Copy paste. Put it there. Copy paste. Put it here. Something like that. Okay, so coming back to this, x comes in and it checks if x is less than 0, yes, it goes here. If no, it goes down. It checks x is more than 0. If yes, it'll go here. If no, it'll go down to y equals to 0, just like how we wrote here. And then we need to combine all of this into y, right? Before we go into n to display y. So that's when we need to use another symbol here. Let's choose this one. This. Change the weight to maybe 1 so it looks thicker. And then another one, well, this is not exactly correct, but I'll tell you what went wrong here. So insert another line here. Okay, something like this first. Never mind, I'll adjust this later. And this should be 1, copy, paste. Another one like this. Now, we need to connect all of this. So to connect all of this, we should use a connector. And this is a common mistake made by students. They always forget the connector. They just directly put all the lines back into y. Okay, I'll do this one. Copy, paste. Like this. And then something like this first before it goes into y. I think I don't want to use this one. I think I use a straight line. Insert. And then another one, right? We need to connect all these lines back into y. Then we need to create another symbol called a connector. Just a circle, but it's empty, but a small one. Don't make it too big, because then you will not know which one is which. Whether it's a start or it's a connector. Let's try to make a nice circle. And then we should change this to, what's that? Shape format. This will put it here, and this one we make it black, and I'm going to zoom in because it's difficult to work with this. Wait to 1 and make it like this. And this one next to this one, while this one next to this one, and then I'll try to make it even smaller, this circle as possible. Okay. And then from here, we draw a line from here to here. Make it black. And then like this. Okay. Another one to go to the end block. Try to make the lines as straight as possible so it looks neater. Something like that. Okay. I'm sure there's a, well, I don't have time to actually clean it up even more, because right now we see a lot of space here, but I think you get to meet the idea of creating the flowchart. This is how this function looks like in the form of a flowchart. And just to make sure it's all safe, I'll put it somewhere right in the middle. And then I group it so it doesn't run, the blocks do not run, so I can move all of it at the same time. And once you're done with this one, you just export, or you can save as. So you export it in the form of a PDF, and then then the PDF will be created, and that will be the flowchart. So let's see, where is that? This is it in the PDF form, and the function is